nerds, what's up? Today's video is all about the books I'm planning on reading in April. If you haven't checked out my March wrap-up, I highly recommend, because I do talk about the fact that I was not reading last month because coronavirus can suck my ass. And yeah. But at the end, at the very start of this month, I realized that I was wanting to read, so I picked up a book and now I'm reading again, and so I want to talk about all the books I want to read this month. I also recommend you check out my other social medias, especially Instagram, because I'm posting a self-care today every day for right now, just to keep us all reminding ourselves to find joy in this crazy shithole called life right now. Cool. Yeah, okay, let's get into the TBR. The OWLs are happening. The OWLs, or OWLS, are hosted by G over at Book Roast, and she does it every year. She does the owls, and then she does the newts, and it's so... it just brings me so much joy to be, surrounded by Harry Potter, because I love Harry Potter, and I love it. So I decided I want to be a wand maker this year. And so, with that said, wand making is one of the first wizarding crafts which has been acknowledged as an honorable profession amongst wizards. If you show a brilliant attention to detail and have a certain fondness towards research that extends to more hands-on experience, you might want to consider wand making a profession. The reason I picked this is because reading that, it sounded like anthropology, which is what I got my degree in for my BA. And although I do not want to be an anthropologist, I like to imagine what it would be like to want to be an anthropologist, because it's a very fantastic world, it seems, but it was unrealistic for the fact that I wanted to be able to not travel for my job. For the OWLs, I have to take Ancient Runes, Arithmancy, Care of Magical Creatures, Charms, and Herbology. Charms is a challenge to read a book with a white cover, and I decided to read Sparrow by Mary Cecilia Jackson. This is a book that I got from NetGalley, and it came out in March, and I was supposed to read it last month, but because of coronavirus, I read nothing last month. So that's a thing. And here's the book. It's so pretty. It is a contemporary about a girl who I believe wants to be the lead ballerina in a dance. And if that doesn't sound like Black Swan vibes, I don't know what does. So I'm very excited. The next challenge for Ancient Runes is to the heart rune. So you have to either read a book with the word heart in the title or the picture of a heart on the cover. And so for this book, I decided to read A Heart in a Body in the World by Deb Coletti. And everyone has raved about this book. It is a lot of people's favorites of 2018 and 2019. This book came out in 2018. I am very, very excited to read it. And I was so surprised to be able to look it up at my library, and it didn't have a hold.
That time?
What? I'm gonna leave that in. I was very excited to see that this did not have a hold on it as an audiobook at my library. I already currently started it. I am almost halfway through. It's a great time. And fun fact, okay, so this book is about a girl who something has happened. She has experienced trauma. We don't really know walking into this book what trauma experience. I don't know if it tells you on the back of the book because I didn't read it. Very quickly, you do kind of get an idea of at least one part of what has happened, or maybe two parts of what has happened, but it hasn't been stated yet, even almost halfway through. I do think I know what happened, at least the vague details, but anyways, she's dealing with this trauma, and she decides to run across the country because she's a cross-country athlete at school. And so she decides to run across the country. She starts 3 days before her 18th birthday. And that's how the story starts. And her grandpa is following her with an RV to so that she can sleep in the RV and so that she's safe. And I love the relationship between them so far. Anyway, this is not a wrap-up, but I'm enjoying it. Next challenge that I'm going to read for is Arithmancy, which is opposites attract or something like that. and it says to read a book outside of your favorite genre. And so I decided to read Enter the Aardvark by Jessica Anthony. This is an adult satire fiction. I'm kind of confused. It's a political satire, and there's talking about Republicans and Democrats, and there's an aardvark. I just started it. I'm very confused so far, so I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but it's funky. Next challenge is herbology, which is Mimbulas, Mimbletonia, or whatever. I don't know how to say that one. And it's to read a book with a title that starts with M. So I am going to be reading Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. This book, honestly, I don't know what it's about, but it's been on my TBR since it came out in 2018, and I have had so many of Tiffany D. Jackson's books on my to-read list. I read Let Me Hear a Rhyme, really enjoyed it, and there's other ones too that are on my TBR list, so I'm really hoping that I'll enjoy this one as well, and just the cover is stunning with the red. Ooh! I love it a lot. The last challenge for the OWLs is magical creatures, and so I have to read a book that has a creature with a beak on the cover. So I have 2 books for this one, and I haven't decided yet which one I want to listen to or which one I want to read, but both are available. I'm going to listen to them on audiobook. Both are available on Hoopla, and it is either Winter by Marissa Meyer, which is book 4 in the Lunar Chronicles, or Infinity Sun by Adam Silvera, which is the first book in the Infinity Cycle, and it is a fantasy. Winter, the Lunar Chronicles, if you haven't heard about them because they're really old, is a sci-fi novel retelling of each one has like a fairy tale retelling in. Winter follows the Snow White retelling. I'm intrigued, definitely. I've been loving this series so far. I started them like a few months ago, maybe 6-7 months ago, and I've been loving them so far, so I'm interested, but the book is really long. Infinity Sun is definitely shorter. So Infinity Sun is Adam Silvera's first fantasy novel, and I've really liked everything he's written so far. I have heard mixed things about this fantasy, so I think I'm going to stick with this one just so that I can form my own opinion about what I think about his fantasy writing, and also because it is shorter. Like, let's be honest, that's part of it. I don't know how into reading a giant book I am, but I definitely am going to leave this up to like how I'm feeling when I get to this audiobook. So that is that for the OWLs. I also want to bring back my 2 different challenges that I was doing a while ago. I want to bring them back this month. So the first one is my TBR jar. If you guys didn't catch my recent video, I think it's a couple videos ago, I remade my TBR jar challenges. So before, I had all of the books on my bookshelves in here, and I was picking out 3, and I had to do 1. Now I am going to pick out 1 challenge. There are 24 in here, and then find a book to match. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. The challenge is to finish a series. So I guess I'm reading Winter by Marissa Meyer. That's perfect, honestly. That means I will read both. Okay, cool. That's done. I don't think I own a copy of Winter. I do own some of the books, but I'll read Winter for that challenge. That's awesome. That's perfect. So the next thing that I want to do is my Goodreads challenge. I haven't done this in so long. How this one works, in case you haven't watched one of my TBRs with a Goodreads challenge on it, because it's been a while since I've done it, is I'm going to randomly generate 3 numbers out of the number of books that I currently have on my Goodreads TBR shelf. This TBR shelf has everything under the sun on it. If I listen to a booktube video and somebody recommends a book that sounds interesting, I put it on there. If I see a book on a bookshelf that I don't decide to buy, but I do want to remember, I put it on there. Books that are recommended by coworkers, you know, it's the whole spectrum. It's books that have been on there for years also. So, without further ado, let me pull that up. I've been recording on the Goodreads thing. I don't know when that stopped. We're now up to 633 books on my shelves. So 633 into the generator. 588. So let's go towards the back here. 588. 588 is You Are Not Alone by Greer Hendricks. You probably know someone like Shay Miller. She wants to find love, wants to be fulfilled, and wants to belong. You probably don't know anyone like the Moore sisters. They have an unbreakable circle of friends, live the most glamorous life, and always get what they desire. Shay thinks she wants their life, but what they really want is hers. Okay, next number out of 633 is 330. Oh, what? I guess we're gonna go with that one. 102. Okay, 102 is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I'm pretty sure I own that one somewhere. Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover is the second book on this options. It's not exactly love at first sight for Tate Collins when she meets the tormented and secretive Miles Archer. They wouldn't even go so far as to consider themselves friends. The only thing Tate and Miles have in common is a mutual physical attraction that can't be denied. Once their desires are out in the open, they realize they might have stumbled on the perfect no-strings arrangement. That's a possibility. Number 2 is, Colleen Hoover. Okay, last option for you guys, because you guys are going to pick for me. The last number is 171. Cool, that won't take that long to find. 171. Oh gosh, okay. All right, the third option is Confess by Colleen Hoover. Auburn Reed has lost everything important to her. In her fight to rebuild her shattered life, she has her goals in sight and there's no room for mistakes. But when she walks into a Dallas art studio in search of a job, she doesn't expect to find deep attraction to the enigmatic artist who works there, Owen Gentry. Okay, so we know where that's going. So, between Confess, Ugly Love, and the last one is You're Not Alone by Greer Hendricks, you guys are going to vote in the poll up in the corner right there. I can't remember which side it's on ever, but it's up there somewhere. So, please vote for which book I should read this month out of the 3. I'm definitely intrigued by Colleen Hoover. I haven't actually read that many of her books, so if you guys are huge Colleen Hoover fans, recommend. I'm also into a thriller, always down for thrillers, so whatever you guys want to pick, I'm excited about any of those options, honestly. The last thing I want to do for this video that I didn't do at the start because I honestly 100% forgot about all of these books. I have some books to show you because it was my birthday and Chelsea from Chelsea Dolling Reads is a Doll foiled me a lot. So she got me 3 books and I wanted to show them off. I did show them off on Twitter or Instagram already, but I got Last True Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake, and I got Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake, and I got Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. I have read all 3 of these books, but I don't own copies. They are 3 of my favorite novels ever, honestly, especially Girl Made of Stars and especially Summer of Salt. These 2 books are like favorite books of all time. Like, they are on that list. Last Year Poets of the Sea I also loved, although I don't think I love it as much as Chelsea did. But these are all some of Chelsea's favorite novels, and they're some of my favorite novels. And it's so perfect. Thank you. Thank you again, Chelsea. So those are the books that I received in the month of March. They definitely lightened up my day that I got them. Chelsea, I just love you a whole lot. I really can't wait for all this coronavirus stuff to be over so that we can make a plan to actually hang out because our plans were canceled. That's everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I make videos every Monday and Wednesday on this channel, and I also have a second channel. I also have a podcast. Check out all my social media down below. And I'll see you guys very soon with a new one. Bye!